Ever wondered how Bitcoin works? Well, you're not alone. In the year 2008, as the world grappled with the fallout of a global financial crisis, an anonymous figure known only as Satoshi Nakamoto introduced a concept that would forever change the financial landscape. This concept was Bitcoin, a new kind of currency, one that existed solely in the digital realm. But who exactly is Satoshi Nakamoto? To this day, that remains a mystery. Nakamoto's identity has been the subject of much speculation, but what we do know is that Nakamoto's vision for Bitcoin was revolutionary. This vision was outlined in a document known as the Bitcoin White Paper, a blueprint for a decentralized, peer-to-peer payment system, free from the control of any government or organization. This concept of decentralization is at the heart of Bitcoin. Unlike traditional currencies, which are issued and regulated by central banks, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network of computers. This means that no single entity has control over Bitcoin. Instead, transactions are verified by a network of computers or nodes all around the world. Bitcoin's role as a digital currency also sets it apart. There are no physical Bitcoins, only balances kept on a public ledger that everyone has access to, and all transactions are verified by a substantial amount of computing power. This public ledger is known as the blockchain, a term you might have heard thrown around in discussions about Bitcoin. So why was Bitcoin created? Nakamoto envisioned a new kind of financial system, one that was transparent, secure, and free from the influence of central authorities. A system where anyone, anywhere in the world could send and receive money without the need for a middleman. This vision has proven to be incredibly influential, with Bitcoin inspiring the creation of thousands of other digital currencies and sparking a global conversation about the nature of money and our financial systems. So, Bitcoin was born out of a desire to create a new kind of financial system, one that is free from central control. How does Bitcoin compare to traditional currencies, you ask? Well, let's dive right in. At their core, both Bitcoin and traditional currencies function as a medium of exchange. They're both used to buy goods and services, and they both hold value. But that's where most of the similarities end. Traditional currencies like the US dollar or the euro are tangible. You can hold a dollar bill in your hand or stash a pile of coins in a piggy bank. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is digital. It exists only in the online realm, stored in digital wallets or on the blockchain. Now let's talk about value determination. The value of traditional currencies is determined by factors like supply and demand, economic performance, and inflation rates. Bitcoin's value, however, is a bit more complex. It's influenced by factors such as the number of people using it, the difficulty of mining new Bitcoins, and market speculation. And then we have transaction methods. With traditional currencies, you can make transactions in person or electronically, usually through a bank or another financial institution. Bitcoin transactions, however, are peer-to-peer. They occur directly between parties, without the need for a middleman. These transactions are verified by network nodes and recorded on the blockchain. Now, let's not forget about volatility. Traditional currencies tend to be relatively stable. Sure, their value can fluctuate, but these changes are usually gradual and predictable. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is known for its volatility. Its value can skyrocket or plummet dramatically in a short amount of time. This volatility can be a boon for investors looking for high returns, but it can also lead to significant losses. In essence, while Bitcoin and traditional currencies have their unique traits, they share the common goal of facilitating transactions. They're just tools that we use to trade value. The key difference lies in their form, their value determination, and the way they're transacted. And of course, there's the volatility factor. Whether you choose to use Bitcoin, traditional currencies, or a mix of both is entirely up to you. At the heart of Bitcoin's operation is a technology known as blockchain. Picture a giant global ledger that records every single Bitcoin transaction that has ever happened, and that's blockchain for you. It's like a massive digital diary, where every entry is a transaction made with Bitcoin. Now, let's simplify this a bit. Imagine you're playing a game of chess. Each move you make is like a transaction. Just like how every chess move affects the game, every Bitcoin transaction changes the state of the blockchain. And just like how you can trace back every move in the chess game, in blockchain, you can trace back every transaction ever made. But there's more to it. In the world of blockchain, these transactions aren't just jotted down haphazardly, they're bundled into blocks. Think of these blocks as pages in our digital diary. Each block or page is filled with a set number of transactions before it's sealed off, never to be changed again. This process adds a critical element to the blockchain: immutability. Once a block is added to the blockchain, it's like a set move on the chessboard. It can't be undone. Now let's talk about security. Each block, once completed, is linked to the one before it, creating a chain of blocks, hence the name blockchain. This chain of blocks is guarded by complex mathematical puzzles that computers or miners solve. Once a puzzle is solved, the block is added to the chain. This makes altering a block extremely difficult, as it would require changing every subsequent block, which is virtually impossible. So why does this matter to Bitcoin? Well, the transparency and security of blockchain make Bitcoin what it is. The transparency comes from the fact that anyone can view the transactions on the blockchain. The security, that comes from the fact that once a transaction is recorded, it can't be altered or deleted. Blockchain, in a nutshell, is the backbone of Bitcoin, ensuring every transaction is transparent and secure. If you're wondering how to get your hands on Bitcoin, we've got you covered. First off, let's talk about Bitcoin mining. No, we're not talking about pickaxes and hard hats here. Bitcoin mining is a digital process where transactions are verified and added to the public ledger, known as the blockchain. Miners are integral to the system. They use powerful computers to solve complex mathematical problems that validate transactions. Once the problem is solved, the miner adds the verified transaction block to the blockchain. As a reward for their hard work, miners earn newly minted bitcoins. However, mining Bitcoin requires a significant investment in technology and energy resources, making it inaccessible to many. Now, if you're not up for the task of mining, fear not. There's a much simpler way to acquire Bitcoin: buy it. There are numerous online platforms and exchanges where you can purchase Bitcoin. Some of the most popular include Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken. These platforms allow you to buy Bitcoin using traditional fiat currencies like dollars, euros, or yen, or even other cryptocurrencies. To make a purchase, you'll need to create an account on your chosen exchange. You'll be asked to provide some personal information for verification purposes, as part of the platform's commitment to abide by financial regulations. Once verified, you can then deposit money into your account and use it to buy Bitcoin at the current market price. But where do you keep your shiny new Bitcoin? Well, that's where digital wallets come in. A digital wallet is a secure place to store, send, and receive Bitcoin. There are many types of wallets, from online web wallets and mobile wallets to offline hardware and paper wallets. Each has its pros and cons, but all serve the same purpose: to keep your Bitcoin safe and accessible. So whether you mine it or buy it, remember to store your Bitcoin safely in a digital wallet. So what does the future hold for Bitcoin? Well, the answer is as complex and multifaceted as Bitcoin itself. As we venture into the realm of speculation and forecasts, it's important to remember that the future of Bitcoin is largely dependent on how it's adopted and used worldwide. Some believe that Bitcoin's potential for growth is immense. They argue that Bitcoin, as a borderless, decentralized currency, has the potential to revolutionize the global financial system. By providing an alternative to traditional banking, Bitcoin could democratize access to financial services and provide a lifeline to those in countries with unstable currencies. Yet, even with its potential for growth, Bitcoin is not without its challenges. Bitcoin's volatility, for instance, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can lead to substantial profits for investors. On the other, it can result in significant losses. This volatility can make Bitcoin less appealing as a stable store of value. Another challenge is regulatory scrutiny. As Bitcoin gains popularity, it's likely to face increased attention from regulators worldwide. How Bitcoin navigates these regulatory waters could greatly impact its future. And then there's the topic of price predictions. It's common to come across bold forecasts about Bitcoin's future value, with some even predicting it could reach $1 million per coin. But remember, these predictions are just that, predictions. They're based on a host of assumptions and should be taken with a grain of salt. In the end, the future of Bitcoin is a fascinating topic of discussion, but it's also shrouded in uncertainty. It's a complex interplay of technology, economics, and human behavior. As with any innovation, Bitcoin's path is likely to be full of surprises, both positive and negative. The future of Bitcoin, like any other innovation, is unpredictable, but it surely promises to be an exciting journey. So stay tuned, stay informed, and enjoy the ride.